Friends, good morning. Once again, I welcome you back to this class of video lecture. Friends, today we take up the class of MA, and this is MA final year English literature, and we take up today paper 9th B, and the nomenclature of this paper is post-colonial literature. Again, I repeat the title of the poem, the post-colonial literature. Uh, in this paper, we have 5 units. Unit 1 is for reference to context. In Unit 2, we have Arun Koltkar, Edwin Thumbu, R. Parthsharthi, Gayatri Spivak, Salman Rushdie. In Unit 3, we have a very famous work by E.M. Forster, and the title of the work is A Passage to India, K.K. Daruwala, Rohinton Mistry. And then in Unit 4, we have V.S. Naipal's A House for Mr. Biswas, and Les Murray, Judith Wright. And in Unit 5th of this paper, we have Margaret Atwood, Chinu Achebe, and Wol Soyinka. So this is the post-colonial literature comprising some of the great works. And friends, since we have some of the Indian writers, so it is essential for us to have an overview of the introduction of Indian English literature. The leading, and today we take up the introduction of women novelists firstly, so that you may get clear of some of the women writers. The leading new novelists of the last 2 decades have generally been men. Arundhati Roy is the exception, but the short story seems to be largely a feminine preserve. Most female novelists seem to write short stories as a kind of subsidiary activity to their novels. The situation seems to be reversed in the case of women, whose favored form is the short story. Some leading short story writers like Bulbul Sharma, Anjana Apachana, and Neelam Sharma Gaur have attempted writing novels. Others, like Nisha Da Chunha, have dedicated themselves to the shorter form alone. So here it is clear, friends, that short story writer, the genre of short story writer, has been also one of the popular themes by women novelists. Among the older women novelists, Ruth Prawar Jabala and Anita Desai are the only major ones to publish their stories in book form. Mrs. Jabala left India and moved to America in 1975. Most of the stories in her earlier volumes of short stories, like Birds, like Fishes and Other Stories, A Stranger Climate, An Experience of India, and How I Became a Holy Mother, and other stories, deal with India. Her short stories, like her novels, have a larger canvas after leaving India. Just one new collection of short stories, East into Upper East, has appeared in the last 2 decades, perhaps because her energies were diverted to writing screenplay. She won an Oscar for her screenplay of Foster's A Room with a View. So, in this connection, we move on to Anita Desai's second volume, Diamond Dust, which got published in 2000, is not as successful as her first collection, Games at Twilight, and other stories which came very early in 1978. The earlier stories were set entirely in India, but three of the nine stories here are about life in the USA, while one is set in Mexico. The last 2 decades have witnessed the growth of a new category of Indian English writing, which could be called NRI. So, this is a brief introduction of Ruth Purwar Jabwala and Anita Desai. And the second important name here is uh, Sasi Deshpande, who is one of the few writers who is equally adept in both forms, the novel and the short story. She started her writing career in 1970 with short stories published in magazines like Eve's Weekly, Femina, the Illustrated Weekly of India, and Mirror. These were later collected in the Legacy and Other Stories, The Miracle and Other Stories, It Was Dark, and It Was the Nightingale. Another collection, The Intrusion and Other Stories, contain old as well as newer stories. The authentic recreation of India is the outstanding feature of her work. The Indian reader, especially the woman reader, can identify with the characters and their problems. She doesn't write about the India of Maharajas or snake charmers or the grinding poverty of the Indian masses. She writes about another kind of deprivation, emotional. The woman bereft of love, understanding, and companionship is the center of her work. She shows how traditional Indian society is biased against women, but she recognizes that it is very often women who oppress their sisters, though their values are the consequence of centuries of indoctrination. Yes, this is the main central line of the works of Sasi Deshpande. She is not obsessed with Maharajas, the snake charmers, or the poverty, or the alienation, or the growing tendency of the contemporary people towards materialism and industrialization, but rather she writes on emotions. She writes about emotional women, the women who are bereft of love, who do not find love on the part of their husbands, who struggle for understanding and companionship. So, understanding and companionship is the center of her work. She shows how traditional Indian society is biased against women, and she recognizes that it is very often women who oppresses their own daughters and sisters, right? And who oppress herself, as we see in her famous novel The Matter of Time. An early short story, A Liberated Woman, is about a young woman who falls in love with a man of a different caste and marries him in spite of parental opposition. She becomes a successful doctor, but her marriage breaks up because her husband cannot accept her success. As a respected public figure, she realizes that the best advice she can give young Indian girls is never overtake your husband in anything. She says, have you seen really old fashioned couples walking together? Have you noticed that the wife always walks a few steps behind her husband? I think that's symbolic. Deshpande's first published novel, The Dark Holds No Terror, grew out of this story. So these are some of the famous works written by Sasi Deshpande. Again, big name is Deena Mehta, too started her writing career with short stories collected in the Other Women and Other Stories. The title story has a touch of humor about it. It is not about the usual love triangle. It is about the complex power balance between husband and wife. And again, there is a big name. Veer Sharma has written poems, plays, and an autobiography. Gauri Deshpande, Nisha D. Chunoha are some of the prominent names in this line. So, a number of women short story writers have made their debut in the 90s. Right? 90s decade is famous, friends, from the point of rise of some of the important women writers. And Anjana Apachana's incantations and other stories reveal the misery of being born a girl in traditional India. Again, this is a good name of this line. And now I move on to Kamala Das. Kamala Das has published some fiction in English, but it compares unfavorably with her poetry. A Doll for the Child Prostitute came in 1977, was poorly written with some importance given to taboos, which reprints some of the same stories. And Lakshmi Kanan is another big name over here, which we should keep in our mind. Lakshmi Kanan has published 3 collections of short stories, all based on work originally written in Tamil. So here we have to keep in our mind the name of Jay Nimbark, Shobha Day, Nina Simbal, and all such. Then we need a brief introduction of Indian diaspora. So we do that introduction in the next class. Thank you, friends.